Yo, I got Matt Gaetz, I got Jim Jordan. They standing up for free speech. They're standing up for America. But first, I got President Trump. Mad respects to this guy. Boy, does he throw out a hilarious joke in the middle of the UN. All right, let's get to the video. Ooh-wee, are we having fun yet? Are we sick of winning? Are we tired of winning? Whew. Man, this is getting good. And not good in a good way. We're basically watching our democracy fall. But at least it's exposing the commies and the Democrats for what they are. So first, I got a couple. Excuse me. I got a couple awesome videos that I want to show you. I want to start off with Trump talking with Macron and throws a really funny joke out there. Let's see what you guys think. This is good stuff.
Has France committed to step up when investigating back foreign fighters in Syria?
Well, I haven't asked that to the president today. I have over the period of time. We have a tremendous amount of captured fighters, ISIS fighters, over in Syria. And they're all under lock and key. But many are from France, many are from Germany, many are from UK. They're mostly from Europe. And some of the countries are agreeing. I have not spoken to the president about that. Would you like some nice ISIS fighters?
Look,
I can give them
if
to
you
you.
look at the situation,
You can take everyone you want.
let's be serious. Very long.
Would you like some nice ISIS fighters? You can take as many as you want. Man, this guy says things that no other officials say. That is why we love Trump. He does not speak like a politician. We are sick of the robot politician speak where it's gone through 6 filters and people tell them exactly what to say to please the masses. This guy doesn't care. And that's why we love him. So anyway, the impeachment's been going on. Nadler looked like an idiot. We had lots of fun. Well, we didn't have lots of fun. Democracy didn't have lots of fun, but the attorneys that work for or are helping Donald Trump had some fun. First up is Matt Gaetz. He really gave it to this little commie.
Will of the American people also elected Donald Trump to be the president of the United States in the 2016 election, and there's one party that can't seem to get over it. Now, we understand the fact that in 2018, you took the House of Representatives, and we haven't spent our time during your tenure in power trying to remove the Speaker of the House, trying to delegitimize your ability to govern. Frankly, we'd love to govern with you. We'd love to pass USMCA. We'd love to put out a helping hand to our seniors and lower prescription drug prices. It's the will of the people you ignore when you continue down this terrible road of impeachment. Professor Gerhardt, you gave money to Barack Obama, right?
My family did, yes.
4 times?
That sounds about right. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I have a series of unanimous consent requests relating to Professor Feldman's work. The first, Noah Feldman, Trump's wiretap tweets raise risk of impeachment.
Gentlemen will suspend.
My time.
We'll take that time off. As the gentleman submitted, have we seen that material?
We can provide it to you, as is typical for unanimous.
And we'll consider the unanimous consent request later after we review
Very
the
well.
material.
Very well. Thank you.
Gentlemen may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Feldman wrote articles entitled, "Trump's Wiretap Tweets Raise Risk of Impeachment." He then wrote, "Mar-a-Lago ad belongs in impeachment file." And then Mr. Jake Flanagan wrote in Quartz, "A Harvard law professor thinks Trump could be impeached over fake news accusations." My question, Professor Feldman, is since you seem to believe that the basis for impeachment is even broader than the basis that my Democrat colleagues have laid forward, do you believe you're outside of the political mainstream on the question of impeachment?
I believe that impeachment is warranted whenever the president abuses his power for personal benefit or to corrupt the democratic process.
Did you write an article entitled, "It's Hard to Take Impeachment Seriously Now"?
Yes, I did write that article.
I just got to stop there. Here's another reason Donald Trump is president. Because of people like that. Anybody with a brain would not start their sentence off with that because you could then apply that to every president that's been in power. These people are so biased they don't even understand how stupid they sound. All right, back to that. God, I'm mad now.
In that article,
Back in-
did you
back
write?
in
Did you
May
write?
of
Hold on, I'm limited on time, sir.
2019, I wrote
Did you
that
write
article.
since
You
the
like let me answer the
2018
question,
midterm
sir?
election, House Democrats have made it painfully clear that discussing impeachment is primarily or even exclusively a tool to weaken President Trump's chances in 2020. Did you write those words?
Until this call in July 25th, I was an impeachment skeptic. The
Very
call
well.
changed my mind, sir, and for
Thank
good
you. I
reason.
appreciate your testimony, Professor Carlin. You gave $2,000, or you gave $1,000 to Elizabeth Warren, right?
I believe so.
You gave $1,200 bucks to Barack Obama,
I have no reason to question that.
and you gave $2,000 to Hillary Clinton.
That's correct.
Why so much more for Hillary than the other two?
Because I've been giving a lot of money to charity recently because of all of the poor people in the United States.
Well,
What does that mean? What does that mean? Is she implying that giving money to politicians is the same as giving money to the poor people? Well, I think we figured out what the problems with the Democrats are and how we're not getting any help in California, because for some reason they have this crazy notion that handing money to politicians is going to help the downtrodden. Yeah, we'll see how we're seeing how that's going.
those aren't the only folks you've been given to. Now, have you ever been on a podcast called Versus Trump?
I think I was on a live panel that the people who ran the podcast called Versus Trump.
On that, do you remember saying the following? Liberals tend to cluster more. Conservatives, especially very conservative people, tend to spread out more, perhaps because they don't even want to be around themselves. Did you say that?
Yes, I did.
Do you?
People laughing in the back. Actually, it's probably more along the lines that conservatives and Republicans actually want to own land. They want to have space. They understand other humans suck, and they want to be able to provide for their own family. Who wants to live in high-rise apartments? I mean, that's where I live, but well, not high-rise, but anyway. I mean, this is. Do these people not understand how bad they sound? They don't mesh. They don't mesh well with the rest of America. That's for sure.
You understand how that reflects contempt on people who are conservative?
No, what I was talking about there was the natural tendency, if you put the quote in context, the natural tendency of a compactness requirement to favor a party whose voters are more spread out.
Well,
and I do not have contempt
hold on.
for
Again, I'm
conservatives, and I
very
do not
limited
have
on time,
contempt
Professor. And so I just have to say, when you talk about how liberals want to be around each other and cluster, and conservatives don't want to be around each other, and so they have to spread out, it makes people, you may not see this from, like the ivory towers of your law school, but it makes actual people in this country
When
feel
the
like,
president
excuse
calls
me, you don't get to interrupt me on this time. Now, let me also suggest that when you invoke the president's son's name here, when you try to make a little joke out of referencing Barron Trump, that does not lend credibility to your argument. It makes you look mean. It makes you look like you're attacking someone's family, the minor child of the President of the United States. So let's see if we can get into the facts. To all of the witnesses, if you have personal knowledge of a single material fact in the Schiff report, please raise your hand. And let the record reflect. No personal knowledge of a single fact. And you know what? That continues on the tradition that we saw for.
So how many witnesses with no evidence of anything but just, I mean, they're the person they're the meme of being thrown out of the car at the end of this. All these people are going to be forgotten about. Nobody gives a crap, but they had fun while they did it. That little lady's going to go back to her Stanford high rise, as Matt Gaetz says. That was great. But she's going to go back there and get high fives from all of her constituents and from her other fellow professors and from all of her students. It's just, I mean, these people are so pathetic. Ugh. Anyway, so that's enough of Matt Gaetz. Let's move over to the man, Jim Jordan. This guy, man, he kills it. Not that Matt Gaetz didn't. That was some great stuff. But let's move on to this guy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sunday, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives called the President of the United States an imposter. Speaker of the House called the President an imposter. The guy 63 million people voted for, the guy who won an electoral college landslide, the Speaker calls an imposter. That's what's happened to our country, to this Congress. The Speaker's statement says it all. The Democrats have never accepted the will of the American people. Democrats don't trust the American people. The American people who wanted to send someone to this town who was willing to shake it up a bit. They don't trust that. And they have tried to do everything they can to undo what the American people decided on November 8th, 2016. They've been out to get the president since the day he was elected. The whistleblower's lawyer, the whistleblower's legal team said this. January 30th, 2017. The president been in office about a week. Coup has started. First of many steps. Next sentence. Impeachment will follow ultimately. I guess we're in the final step. Started 3.5 years ago. Congressman Tlaib started this Congress. First day of Congress said, impeach the president. Representative Green said, if we don't impeach him, the president's going to win re-election. We got to do it. Most importantly, 5 Democrat members of this committee voted to move forward with impeachment before the phone call ever happened. The truth is, the attacks actually started before the inauguration, even before the election. The ranking member talked about this in his opening statement. July 2016, FBI opens an investigation, so-called Trump-Russia coordination, collusion, which was never there. Opened an investigation, spied on 2 American citizens associated with the presidential campaign. My guess is that's probably never happened in American history, but they did it. And for 10 months, Jim Comey's FBI investigated the president. Guess what? After 10 months, they had nothing. And you know why we know that? Because when we deposed Mr. Comey last Congress, he told us they didn't have a thing. No matter, Special Counsel Mueller gets appointed, and they do a 2-year, $40 million, 19-lawyer, unbelievable investigation. And guess what? They come back, and they got nothing. But the Democrats don't care. So now we get this. Bunch of depositions in the bunker in the basement of the Capitol. Witnesses who aren't allowed to answer questions about who they talked to about the phone call. We get this. All based on some anonymous whistleblower, no firsthand knowledge, bias against the president. These facts have never changed. We learned these right away. Who worked with Vice President Biden, who wrote a memo the day after somebody talked to him about the call, but waited 18 days to file a complaint. 18 days to file a complaint. What did he do in those 18 days? We all know. Ran off and talked with Chairman Schiff's staff. And then hired the legal team that I just talked about. One of the steps in the whole impeachment coup, as his legal team has said. This is scary what these guys are putting our country through. It is sad, it is scary, it is wrong. And the good news is, the American people see through it all. They know the facts are on the president's side. As Representative Stefanik said, 4 facts will never change. We got the transcript, which they never thought the president would release. Shows no coordination, no conditionality, no linkage. We got the 2 guys on the call, President Trump, President Zelensky, who have said, nothing wrong, no pressure, no pushing here. We got the fact the Ukrainians didn't even know aid was held up at the time of the call. And most importantly, we've yet to have one witness tell us that any evidence from anyone that President Zelensky did anything on investigations to get the aid released. Those facts will never change. The facts are on the president's side. The process is certainly not. It has been the most unfair process we have ever seen, and the American people understand it. Those 63 million Americans, they understand it, and frankly, I think a lot of others do as well. They see what this for what it is, and they know this is wrong, especially wrong, just 11 months before the next election. I yield back.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh man, that's some good stuff. Well, we're going to continue with the hearings. They're going to go on. Listen, guys, all of this is for show. This is all to try to keep the impeachment was to try to get rid of Trump so that this next part wouldn't come about. So the next part's coming about because Trump is not going anywhere. So the next part, IG report. Well, the closer it comes, the more speculation comes out about it. The mainstream media is spinning everything that they can. It's going to have some bombing damning information, bombshell information. That will be a wake up to a lot of people, but it's not going to be anything big. There's no criminal investigations. The big kahuna is going to be the Durham report. And it's still a couple months away, but I think this is the beginning of the end, because this is the beginning of us, the conservatives, the Trump supporters, being able to have something to point at and say, listen, the government is corrupt. We got to do something about it. And if the FBI is willing to do this, what is the CIA willing to do? Why are these activist judges seeming so activy? You know what I'm saying. Anyway, you guys have a great night. We'll be back soon, because in 5 days we got the IG report, so there'll definitely be some more information, man. Things are getting crazy. Trump's killing it. He's over in doing NATO things right now, just making people look like fools, requesting the money that America deserves because we've been getting screwed by the rest of the world. It's really that simple. Reason number 1,650,000 that Donald Trump is president of the United States. See ya.
What shows everyone else?